Racism. It's a word that evokes images of the past, of hate crimes and blatant discrimination. But what about the racism that exists today, hidden in plain sight? This is the insidious nature of institutional discrimination, woven into the fabric of our society, operating in systems meant to serve and protect us. It's the unseen legacy of United States legislation that confined and constricted our ancestors, limiting opportunities and perpetuating cycles of disadvantage today. This isn't about individual prejudice. It's about systems designed with inherent biases that disproportionately harm people of color, particularly descendants of enslaved peoples. Education, often hailed as the great equalizer, can also be a breeding ground for institutional discrimination. From unequally funded schools with inadequate resources to disciplinary policies that disproportionately target Black American students, the system often fails to provide equal opportunities. Studies show that Black American students are more likely to attend underfunded schools, have less access to experienced teachers, and face harsher punishments for minor infractions. This creates a hostile learning environment, hindering their academic growth and perpetuating the cycle of inequality. The right to quality healthcare is paramount, yet the system often fails Black Americans. Studies reveal alarming disparities in healthcare access, treatment, and outcomes. Black patients are less likely to receive adequate pain management, are often diagnosed at later stages of illness, and experience higher mortality rates for preventable conditions. These disparities stem from a complex interplay of factors, including implicit bias among healthcare providers, limited access to quality insurance, and historical mistrust of the medical system. Section 4. Justice. The system's harsh reality. The criminal justice system, meant to uphold fairness and equality, often perpetuates racial disparities. Black Americans are disproportionately stopped, searched, arrested, and incarcerated compared to their white counterparts, even for similar offenses. This disparity is evident in drug enforcement, where Black people are more likely to be arrested for drug possession, despite similar usage rates across races. This systemic bias extends to sentencing, with Black individuals receiving harsher punishments for the same crimes. Section 5. Employment, locked out of opportunity. In the pursuit of economic security, Black Americans face significant hurdles due to institutional racism in the employment sector. Studies reveal persistent racial disparities in hiring, wages, and promotion opportunities. Black American applicants often encounter bias, both conscious and unconscious, from employers, leading to higher unemployment rates and lower earnings compared to their white counterparts. This economic inequality further perpetuates the cycle of disadvantage, limiting access to resources and opportunities for upward mobility. Section 6. Breaking down the walls, a call to action. The pervasiveness of institutional discrimination can feel overwhelming, but despair is not an option. We must acknowledge the systemic nature of this issue and actively work towards dismantling these oppressive structures. This requires a multi-pronged approach. We must educate ourselves and others about the history and impact of institutional discrimination. Recognizing our own biases and how they manifest in our interactions is crucial. We need to advocate for policies that address racial disparities in education, healthcare, criminal justice, and employment. This includes supporting legislation that promotes equity and accountability. We must join forces with organizations and individuals working to dismantle systemic discrimination. Collective action amplifies our voices and puts pressure on institutions to change. We must demand transparency and accountability from institutions that perpetuate racial disparities. This includes advocating for data collection and analysis to identify and address bias. The fight for racial justice is a marathon, not a sprint. It requires sustained effort, unwavering commitment, and a belief in the possibility of a more just and equitable society. By working together, we can break down the unseen walls of institutional discrimination and create a world where everyone has the opportunity to thrive. Remember, hope is not passive, it is a call to action. Let us answer that call with courage, determination, and an unwavering commitment to justice for all.